A woman was recently killed in our entrance. I, like many neighbors, knew her well. This lady was, how should I put it, not quite strict behavior. She lived alone, she had no children, and she led a wild lifestyle. There were enough men who wanted a big and free love with their heads. She cordially received guests. The fun was accompanied by loud music, drinking alcohol and loud obscenities. For obvious reasons, many residents were dissatisfied with all this, since often her fun ended closer to the morning. On one of these evenings, there was a drunken brawl in the entrance, and this woman was stabbed at least 30 times with a knife. She died before reaching the operating room. The blood and the walls on the floor were whitewashed, painted over several times. I don't know who took over the organization of the funeral, but I know that she was buried at the Nizhny Novgorod cemetery. The investigators came to us several times, but we were just visiting on that ill-fated day and could not say any details. Some time later, they said that the killer had been found. The apartment was sealed, the passions gradually subsided. No more than a month has passed since that time. On the day I want to tell you about, I was returning from the second shift at work, as usual. The time was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I went to the house, went into the entrance, went up to my floor. I must say that often, passing through the stairwell on the floor where the murder occurred, I experienced a not very pleasant feeling. Not fear, but exactly some kind of anxious aching feeling. And he accelerated his pace, climbing to his room on the floor above.
In the entrance, by the way, we have installed light bulbs that react to movement. Now many of them are in the entrances. When you pass the flight on the lower landing, the light goes out, and on the floor to which you have already climbed, on the contrary, it lights up.
I go up, past the ill-fated floor. I have already got the keys. As soon as I step on my landing, the light bulbs on my and the lower floors abruptly burst and shatter, and immediately after the semi-darkness falls in the entrance, I hear a wild female scream behind me. The scream was so loud and hysterical that, excuse me, I almost wet myself with fear, and it was absolutely not funny, take my word for it. I was so filled with horror that my legs became wadded up, and my head did not think at all. I thought my heart would stop from fear. I woke up from the sharp smell of ammonia and the light of a flashlight. The neighbor, who was holding my arm, began to ask me what happened, what kind of woman was shouting at the whole entrance. And another neighbor said that he was smoking on the top floor, heard the door of the intercom slam, and a moment later he was also deafened by a piercing scream. He immediately came down to see what had happened, shining a lighter, and recognized me. Then a neighbor came out with a flashlight and another neighbor who brought ammonia. I still can't find a rational explanation for what happened. I began to sleep restlessly. I take sedatives. And now I know for sure that the afterlife exists.
I created the channel quite recently. Please write in the comments what I need to change in the video. Please support me by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thanks.